Hey, it's me, Vicky Marie. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in this crazy world we're living in. So, gosh, I want your thoughts on this, please, guys. I want to know what you think about this latest development in the Madeleine McCann case. Well, it's not development, but the latest thing that's happened is that the police have been awarded, given even more money to investigate Madeleine's case. Now, for those of you that maybe have been living on Mars for the past 20 years or whatever, if you don't know about the Madeleine McCann case, the most famous missing persons case ever, probably, and this poor little girl, 3 years old, on holiday with her parents and her siblings who are twins, Amelie and Sean, and they were only 2 years old, just toddlers, and all three of them were left alone in their apartment in Portugal while Kate and Jerry, their mum and dad, went off, having a good time with their mates, drinking, eating, and left all the children alone in the apartment. And according to them, Madeleine was snatched from that apartment. And ever since, so this was 20 years ago, more or less, or just over 20 years ago. And this happened in Praia da Luz in Portugal. So since then, there's been false sightings, there's been people claiming to be her, there's been, you name it, the different sort of hypotheses that have been put forward about the different suspects that have been put forward, that have either snatched her, they've killed her, or they've trafficked her. There's nothing that hasn't been suggested that has happened to Madeleine McCann. And you just feel like, will we ever know what really happened to Madeleine? Everyone's got their theories, everyone's got their thoughts, including me. But really, what this video is about is not. I just wanted to tell you about this new sort of influx of money that's been put into this case and ask you, what do you think? Why does this case has had so much money injected into it? Now, listen, it's important when a little girl goes missing. Of course, Madeleine wouldn't be a little girl anymore now if she's still, alive. But why, in this case, how many other missing people, missing children are there? Look at her little face. Who haven't had this sort of attention or this sort of financing, to help to find them. How many families are out there looking for their children now, current cases, and, not to put too fine a point on it. Madeleine went missing a long, long time ago. Now, if she can be found, it would be great. But, I just want to know what you think. Anyway, so the Madeleine McCann investigation has been given even more cash. Ministers have approved more than £100,000 in additional funding for Scotland Yard detectives investigating the disappearance of Madeleine McCann. Now, it's a drop in the ocean compared to, the scale of things as far as government money is concerned, but it's still a lot of money. Home Office sources said a request to provide up to £108,000 was approved for the probe, which is known as Operation Grange for 2025-26. It's understood that one detective chief inspector, one detective constable, and one member of police staff are working on the investigation. But so it's a small amount, as I say, in the grand scale of things. But when you look at the next bit, funding given to Operation Grange has totaled more than 13.2 million since 2011. I just wonder, how many other cases have been given so much money or are still being given so much money. Now, listen, if something comes out, I mean, there's sort of a part of me inside that I'm thinking that one day we will get to know. With DNA advances and things like that, maybe we will get to know the truth about what happened to Madeleine McCann. So this is Pride of Luz. I went there, didn't I, on location. It's it doesn't look very nice there, but it's actually beautiful. Madeleine from Rothley in Leicestershire was 3 when she vanished while on holiday with her parents in Pride of Luz, Portugal in 2007. Now, the current suspect, of course, is the German man Christian Bruckner. He's the main suspect in her disappearance, apparently. Well, he's the only suspect, I think, but, he's going to be cleared. He's just one in a long line of people that were accused of doing something to Madeleine with no evidence. Now, I don't know Christian Bruckner. He could be a total piece of shit for all I know, but I doubt very much that he had anything to do with Madeleine's disappearance. And he was recently cleared of unrelated sex offences in Germany that were alleged to have been committed in Portugal between 2000 and 2017. So he's been cleared of those other offences as well. So the 48-year-old spent many years in Portugal, including in Pride of Luz, around the time of Madeleine's disappearance, and is currently serving a 7-year prison sentence in Germany for the rape of an elderly woman at her home in the resort town in 2005. He has denied all the charges against him and any involvement in Madeleine's disappearance. Well, to be honest, he's not going to admit it, is he? Unless he thinks they've got some evidence. So yeah, maybe he is a total POS. While I was in Pride of Luz, I got talking to somebody who'd known him who said he wasn't a POS, but who knows? He said he was a van lifer. He knew him quite well, this guy. According to him, so this is just hearsay, I'm just telling you what somebody told me. And the other thing I was told while I was in Portugal is that nobody thinks there was anybody else involved in the disappearance of Madeleine except her own parents. That's just what they think. That's just what they told me. Again, no evidence, is there really? So, DNA evidence might result in something one day coming out, but who knows? The Metropolitan Police is understood to be continuing its support for authorities in Germany and Portugal. And Detective Chief Inspector Mark Cranwell, who is overseeing the British investigation into the disappearance, said, "We continue to support Madeleine's family to understand what happened on the 3rd of May 2007 in Pride of Luz. Our thoughts remain with the family." So 2007, long time ago, isn't it? I mean, don't get me wrong, not that it doesn't matter how long ago it is, if they've got a chance of actually, catching someone, prosecuting someone successfully for the disappearance of Madeleine, finding out what's happened to her. My only question, and this is what I'm asking for you, let me know in comments what you think, is why does Madeleine get so much attention compared to other missing people or other missing children? There'll be parents out there of missing children that never get any attention from the police, or, their cases have gone cold. It just seems. So we're looking at, it's 20 years, nearly 20 years ago, isn't it? So 2007, my maths is not brilliant. 2025. Yeah. It's not that far off, 20 years ago when it happened. And Madeleine would be 20 now, if she is still with us on this planet, hopefully somewhere. I suppose you come to a point where I hope she's been trafficked in a way. At least that way she'd be alive. But then she would have gone through so much, wouldn't she? So, it's just awful. Oh, I think I've actually been on that sunbed there. Anyway, what do you think? Look at her little face. I mean, obviously, she's she'll be an adult now, but of course, we had this distinctive. This is the distinctive thing in Madeleine's eye, which is why we have this woman, don't we, saying she is Madeleine McCann, because she's got a similar thing, though it seems to me it's in a completely different place. She'll be coming up soon for her to answer for her charges of stalking. She's currently in prison. She was arrested as she touched down at the airport. Her and her sidekick, her friend, she's now been arrested, hasn't she, Karen Spragg? And we'll wait and see, what happens to their cases. Their stalking cases, because they've been accused of stalking, Kate and Jerry McCann. And the twins, of course, the twins are also adults now. Texting them, even going as far as going round to their house. Julia's got some mental health issues, most certainly. Madeleine's not the first person she's pretended to be or claimed to be. But this is the one that gained the most traction. So this is, it's, as I say, it's not the first time she's claimed to be someone who's missing. So we have to take her with a pinch of salt, really. I personally don't believe for a minute that she is Madeleine McCann. And yeah, her sidekick, Karen Spragg, getting themselves involved. I mean, stalking is a serious offence, though you do always think that the McCanns get special treatment for everything. How many people are being stalked? Their stalkers don't get arrested. God, how many people begging for help and they don't get the help they need, even to the point where they get actually, get attacked and killed. Anyway, so it's a funny old case, isn't it? The Madeleine McCann case. As I say, everyone's got their theories. Some people suspect the parents. Some people don't suspect the parents. There's never been any again, it all comes down to evidence. But we can't help but have our thoughts, can we? And all I would say is, having been there to that location, there is no way on God's earth you should have left 3 children under 5, left them alone in their apartment building while you went and got drunk with your friends. Just, there was no reason why these children shouldn't have been taken with them. If they're on holiday, it's family holiday, for God's sake. They left their kids in the holiday club all day so they could go off jogging and playing tennis and doing whatever. And then at night, they just left them on their own in their apartment. That's not much of a family holiday, is it? And of course, the other thing is, after Madeleine was supposedly snatched, they carried on leaving the other 2 kids in the same holiday club at the complex, just right by where Madeleine had been snatched from. As far as they were concerned, Madeleine had been taken. You would not let your other kids out of your sight, would you? That's my main thing with the McCanns, apart from the fact of them leaving the kids there in the first place. All I know is, if one child's been snatched and then you put your other 2 children in the holiday club, the same holiday club, how could you even let them out of your sight after one of your children has been snatched? I honestly, somebody tell me how they could have done that. Yeah, your child's been snatched, your 3-year-old disappeared, you don't know where she is, what's happened to her, who's got her, don't know what the connection was with the complex, and then you carry on leaving your kids in the same holiday club. My children would not leave. Well, I wouldn't have done it in the first place. Wouldn't have left those kids on their own in that apartment in the first place, but let's suppose I did. And one got snapped. I mean, just saying it sounds ludicrous. Oh, I've lost one. Oh, it's all right. I've got another 2. I'll just put them in the holiday club. Yeah, lost one, but got 2 more. Crazy. And of course, Kate and Jerry, doctors, middle class. If they were people from a council estate, that would have been, they would have been prosecuted for neglect at the very least. Anyway, so this little girl, probably the most famous, one of the most famous faces in the world as far as missing people are concerned. There's not really many people don't know about this case wherever they are. So anyway, let me know what you think about this latest injection of cash. It's not a massive amount of money as far as, maybe it's just pay the wages, or I don't know what it's for. But £108,000. But now we're looking at a total of 13.1 or 2, was it, million pounds that's been invested into looking into the Operation Grange, into looking for this little girl who, no offense, but there are children going missing all the time. More recent ones maybe could do with that money, who've got a chance of being found. I think the answers to what happened to Madeleine will only come out maybe one day if somebody decides to talk. Okay, as ever, let me know what you think. I'll see you really soon in the next video, which will be soon. Please like this video if you found it useful or interesting. Please subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Please consider it. And I'll see you soon in the next video. Till then, may your God go with you. Bye.